Today I'm going to show you how to make juicy, tender pork ribs and spicy wings. Let's go. Let's get it. Get it, get it, get it. Get it.
Let me turn the mic on. Oh, it's on. Talking to myself, call it self-con something. Got my wings on, call it fresh nigga flying. Light-skinned women with the stomach flat like poverty. Shawty go down like she pulling on gravity. I'm so high, my mind never.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Comrade Felix Chimbinyu, and let's get straight into the agenda, comrades. You see, yes, and I will show you how this thing is done. Yes. Let's go. We're gonna need a baking tray for this, and then depending on how big or small your ribs are, choose the size of your baking tray. So I think in this case I actually realized that this baking tray was smaller, and then I changed it to a bigger baking tray so that my ribs can fully spread around the length of the baking tray. Yes. So now I'm gonna chop some rosemary, and then I'm gonna leave some on the side for garnishing the meat later. I'm not really gonna chop this to any consistency. I'm just gonna give it like a quick cut, and then I'll put it on top of, I'll just like sprinkle it on top of my ribs. Just sprinkle it evenly on there so that it spreads. You see, it spreads to the dimensions, comrade. Yes. One thing I like doing to my ribs is I like stabbing or cutting some holes in between the bones. So this causes the water to slowly cook the ribs from the inside. And yeah, it just helps with penetrating the flavor also throughout the meat. So give that a try when you're doing your ribs. It's really cool. And I think it's chefy. It's a chefy thing to do. Like, I think professional chefs would do that. I totally see professional chefs doing that. Ay. Right, so now I'm gonna grab some garlic, and as usual I'm gonna smash that garlic. So I'm gonna smash about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm just gonna like throw them in the tray as they are. And then this one I'm just gonna chop it up and make it like into a nice fine consistency. I'm just being paranoid here, but I'm just gonna spread it all around just in case the bigger cloves don't dissolve and they don't spread the flavor. I don't know why I did that, but I did it. So now I'm gonna work some beef cubes. What I like doing with my beef cubes is that I like chopping them so that they get to spread faster as the water or whatever you're cooking them heats up. So they would dissolve easier than they would if you were to put them whole like that. Right, now I'm gonna throw in some barbecue spice. I'm gonna put in 2 teaspoons so we can just be generous to the meat, you see, and give it all that flavor. You can really bump up your spices here if you want to. Now I'm gonna throw in some ground coriander. I'm just gonna fa like 1 teaspoon in there, and just fa spoon. Now I'm gonna put in some salt. Yes, I'm just gonna put in a teaspoon of salt in there. And what is salt without his wife? Pepper. Good couple, that one. Very good couple, you see. They go well together, and yeah. So that is typically what you would want to get. And now we're gonna pour some water. So you're gonna pour the water on the sides of the meat so that the spices can just rise with the water. And you want your water to cover the whole rib, like you want the whole rib to be submerged in water. And after that, comrade, it is time to grace the ribs, you see, to grace them with the heat. This is an oven, comrade, that is preheated to 150 degrees Celsius, comrade. So you're gonna put it in there, comrade, for about 45 minutes, you see. Yes, you must just make sure the oven is lit on both sides, the top and the bottom. Yes. So now we're gonna work with the bed, comrade. Yeah, these are going to be very spicy wings. Yes, we're making spicy wings. So I like to expand my spicy wings, and I just cut like in between I don't know if it's the elbow or what you call that part, but I like to cut them in half so that my wings can be more. So now I'm gonna wanna grace my chicken with Portuguese chicken spice. That's like the ultimate chicken spice you can ever use. So I'll grace that graciously with that spice. And then I'm gonna wanna put in paprika just so that my wings can have that little bit of heat in them. And then you can go, when you're eating them, you see like Zinga wings, comrade, you see, or maybe like what do they call them, chicken licking wings, yes, something like that. So you want to turn them around and then you grace them again with some paprika, not too heavy, not too little, just, you see, in between, balanced equation, yes. So now I want to put some extra virgin olive oil. You can pour this before or you can pour it like I'm doing now, it really doesn't matter. So you just want to like give it an even spread all over the tray, and you want to give it a shake so that the wings can be covered at the bottom with the olive oil. Then now you want to turn them around. Then after you do that, you want to grab your pan again, and then you want to give it another shake. Shake to the left, to the right, shake, just keep it tight. Right, so after that, grab your tray and then you throw it into the oven. Simple as that, comrade. You throw it in the same oven and then you just leave it there to cook. Yes. So after 45 minutes, you want to take out your ribs and then you want to check if everything is still fine. I like turning my ribs around so that they can cook on both sides. So you're going to make sure that those ribs are turned around nicely and pat them. And then after doing all of that, you want to put them back into the oven, comrade, for about 20 minutes. You see, on the same heat. After 20 minutes, take them out again, comrade. You do a little bit of inspection, you see. You make sure that the numbers are still fine, the ribs are still all there, the heat did not eat any of the ribs. I don't know why you would do that, but anyways, you see. Turn it around, you just test your meat, see if it's soft enough. If it's not, throw it back in the oven for about 20 more minutes. So now what you want to see in your ribs is, you see that last bone there at the end, comrade, it's sticking out. So that means your ribs are ready. So now you want to drain the water and just leave a little bit of water on the surface. This will help with the sauce later. And I just like to keep my herbs and spices and garlic that I put in there earlier for the sauce later. You can totally throw this away. It's up to you. Yes. Yes, and now we are ready to mix the sauces, comrade, you see. Yeah, so now we're gonna want to remove the ribs from that baking tray, you see. Yes, and then we're going to want to take the baking tray. Yes, we're gonna pour that all that sauces and that juices there in the extra bowl, you see. So we're gonna put that aside, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab Jimmy's Steakhouse sauce. By the way, if you don't know this sauce, please buy it and please give it a go. It's like, so it's not delicious, it's scrumptious, it's and then as usual, lapis sauce. Yes, hoi da lapis sauce, and give it a gracious pour, you see. Pour it graciously, yes. And then I'm gonna wanna throw in some Worcestershire, whichever share, what share you want. Put some share in there. Then you wanna like stir it, give it a nice stir until you can see that everything is nice and combined together. So after that, you wanna grab your ribs again and you wanna put them back into the baking tray. You can grab a chef's piece if you want, totally optional. And I use scissors to separate my ribs. So I normally separate my ribs before I put the sauce on them or I put them back in the oven. This will help like the entire surface of the ribs be covered with the sauce. So I don't like putting the whole rib there because you have to cut it after and it gets messy. So this will help like cook the juices also inside and wrap your meat around, comrade. Yes, you see, just wrap it around and make everything juicy. So that's my piece going to the side. And now you're gonna wanna grace your ribs with the sauce, comrade. You see the sauce is very soft. So this is nice because it's gonna cook and get thicker in the oven. So after rubbing that with your brush, you wanna grab the baking tray now and then you throw it in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. And now for the wings, yes. So now we're gonna grab some lemon juice and then we're gonna wanna throw that all over the wings. Finally said it right. And then we're gonna take some Nando sauce. Then we're gonna spew that over the wings. And then that's literally all you need to do now to the wings, because that's like you're done. Oh, there's one more thing. You just need to brush them so that you can make sure the sauce is evenly spread throughout the wings. You don't have to do this. It's just me being, you know, paranoid, just trying to get everything right. Yeah, so you throw that back in there with the ribs so that everything cooks together. And comrades, yes, this is what you are expecting to get, you see. Yes, you are expecting to get nice, juicy, shiny ribs there on the tray, you see. And then you are also expecting to see a spicy wings there, you see, comrade. It is very nice and very nutritious, yes. Please do try this recipe at home. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video. And as usual, comrade, you see, this is a learning channel. So if you want to know more on how I made this meal, maybe you want me to make the sides as well to show you how I made the sides, I can totally do that, comrade. But I don't want to eat your time, you see, because this video ish was going to be like an hour, comrade. Hour of recording and an hour of watching. Doesn't make sense, you see. But anyways, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Have a great one. Yes.
Popping stupid tech, see you got 'em long, girl. I like the way you do your legs. Now hold there, shot it. Let me see you work that. Tight denim jeans, tight you giving